All right, welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Island. I'm Tito, Jeff Thidoff. Follow me on Twitter at FitHappens. Follow this guy on my left, Chad Rink, on Twitter at Chad Ocho Rinko. Make sure you download our app. It's free. Fantasy Sports, free to Apple and Android users. Check it out. We've got round-the-clock programming, lots of new stuff we're adding all the time, and you can have it right there at your fingertips. Also, if you need help with your draft, FantasyDraftProxies.com is the place to go. And you can. We had Nathan Shively on our last episode. He's the owner and founder of FantasyDraftProxies.com. There we go. I'll spit it out. FantasyDraftProxies.com. And you can get set up there with some help on that one. So, Chad, as I'm thinking back to when we first started doing this season stuff and, post NFL draft, and then you had the mini camps and all of that. And now we've had camp go through. We've had a couple of preseason games. This week marks the third and last preseason games for everybody. 4 for San Diego and Detroit, but 3 for everybody else. And I'm curious. We've had holdouts, hold-ins, injuries, things like that. And I'm curious if there's a team that maybe you like more or like less, or a player that you like more or like less than you did probably a few weeks ago.
There is not. Thank you very much.
That's it for the show. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
No, there is one, and it's really not preseason because I don't really put too much stock to the preseason anymore, except maybe some late battles and like a running back here or there. If like, okay, this guy's going to end up being like the third running back or something like that. But doing some research on something else led me to this team, and I'm kind of high on them now, and especially a player that I really wasn't drafting, and it's Jacksonville.
Okay,
the Jaguars. So. And a lot of it has to do with Liam Cohen as offensive coordinator. We all know what he did last year at Tampa. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you go back, he was the offensive coordinator for the Rams in 2022, 2019, 2018. 22 was just an injury-plagued season. That's when they brought Baker in. So you can kind of throw that out. But in the 2 other seasons, Jared Goff was the QB 13 and the QB 7, threw for over 4,600 yards, and one season 18 had 32 touchdown passes. He has the 1 year had a wide receiver 4 in Cooper Kupp and a wide receiver 15 in Robert Woods.
Which is, Robert Woods is about to get cut by Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to get cut by the Steelers. He's 33 years old, but he's not going to make the roster.
No, this is 2000. This is like the 19.
I know what I'm saying though, but Robert Woods was never. That was his best time.
Yes, because then the year before he was the wide receiver 11, and Brandon Cooks was the wide receiver 13. So I was never really high on Travis Hunter. Yeah, really, and just the Jags offense. I kind of like Trevor Lawrence, but looking at this, then you look at what Trevor Lawrence has done. Mm-hmm. 2021, he was a QB 13, 3,600 yards, 73 rush attempts. 2022, he was a QB 7 with a little over 4,100 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, 62 rushing yards. And then in 2023, QB 12, 4,000 passing yards, 21 and 14 on touchdowns and interceptions. And again, 70 rush attempts. Baker had 60 rush attempts last year and doubled any previous rushing yards he had.
Right.
I'm kind of high on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
As if you're waiting on quarterbacks, with a Liam Cohen offense, if you trust Duval, I think Trevor Lawrence, you're telling me Trevor Lawrence can give me 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns with 70 plus rushing attempts.
Okay.
He does have a true alpha 1 in Brian Thomas Jr. And I'm kind of like Travis Hunter could end up as a wide receiver 12, 15.
So then based on what you're saying there, if you're in a 10-team league and you're the last one to take a quarterback 1, you'd be okay with Lawrence.
He's probably going as a quarterback. I think he's probably going like 15 or later. So he may not even get drafted, depending if everybody else in your league was going 2 quarterbacks.
Sure.
Then I wouldn't mind it in a 10-team. Because you got to figure not everyone's doing 2.
Right.
There'll be people to pick up later on. No one's drafting Bryce Young, probably.
Right.
Anthony Richardson. It's certain guys. So Trevor, you could probably do worse than Trevor Lawrence. Like I said, in 2022 and 2023, he was the QB 7, QB 12.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you're right. Yeah, that's I also want to say hello. Is it me you're looking for? That's Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, exactly.
Yeah, I like Jacksonville more than I thought it would also. And I am a huge Brian Thomas Jr. fan. I love that guy. And I think, the fact he and Neighbors came into the league at the same time, and there'll be the debate for years over, like, those are the two guys, who's better than the other one. I think Thomas ends up being the better of the two. I really do think he will be. And I think that having a full NFL season under his belt is going to help him out. Having a threat on the other side of the field is going to help out as well. So yeah, I think getting a new look in there, a new offensive mind in there is big for Jacksonville as well. There's a team that I liked, but now I like, and I might actually like them. And that's the Dallas Cowboys. I am falling more in love with the Dallas Cowboys offense every day. And, you guys want to take Burrow and you want to take, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, have it. Lamar Jackson, go do it. I will wait and I will take, I'll lurk is what I'll do. I will lurk and I will take Dak Prescott. And by the way, later on, I'll take George Pickens. I will stack those guys, and I'll be very happy with that. You can Dak's not going early, and so and Pickens is obviously. Look, if you look at his numbers the last couple of years, you might think, no, he's not worth it. He's going to explode this year in Dallas. He really is. Dak throws a lot of deep passes. George Pickens likes a lot of deep passes. So yeah, I think it's going to be. You got CeeDee Lamb on the other side, so you're not going to double team George Pickens. I would take that, and I've gone as far in the one draft I did. I then took Jake Ferguson as a tight end. Yeah. Waited to the end on that. Waited till the very end on that and grabbed him.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love Dak. Dak's probably going to be the one guy that I will draft more than anybody for my leagues, but also for other people.
Yeah.
Just because I think a healthy Dak, we've seen it. He's always an every other year guy. So This is the year. He has CeeDee Lamb could arguably be the best receiver in the league.
Could be.
He has the best wide receiver 2 he's ever had. And it's not even close.
No.
Not even close. Sorry, everybody else.
Yeah, right.
I can't even think of the guy. The one guy I was high on for
Alvin Harper. Oh wait, that was back. That was way back.
That was it. I'm even so much because of Schottenheimer being there. I'm taking some chances on Javonte Williams.
Really,
I am, because I think Blue. I think is going to be more of a change of pace back. I don't think he has the size to be the pounding kind of running back, but he could have that Tony Pollard role that Pollard had a couple years ago that really, boosted him. And I just think Williams, I know he's younger, and I think he's just better than Miles Sanders. So they're going to have to run the ball, and I think they're going to try to run the ball more.
Right.
If Javonte Williams gets you 12 touchdowns and you get him as like the wide receiver 40-something,
It's interesting because when we did our rookie draft for our keeper league we did it back in May. And when I was doing research, I noticed that, and this is why you need to look at multiple sites for things. There was one site, and I can't remember which one it was, had Jaden Blue listed 6'1", 216. He is not 6'1" and 216. He's like 5'9", right? And so just do your research. Because I was looking at it, I thought, if somebody went in there to do a draft and saw this guy's a beast, a George size, this guy's going to be a beast. And then you look, but I do think, though, Jaden Blue, I think he will be one of those guys who has a great second half. I do. Williams, I don't trust Williams. Someone's got to run the ball, though. So you're right on that. He will get a lot of touches, I think, in that regard. But Blue's a better threat out of the backfield, and as far as catching passes. And so I see him being valuable there. And I just think that by midseason, I think Williams might break down again. And then you have, and then they'll be able to go with Jaden Blue after that. But I like the Cowboys.
Yes, exactly. So a team, and this is gross. This is so gross that I am even saying this on here. And it has nothing to do with them naming Daniel Jones, hashtag Indiana Jones, as my brother Nate said the other day. The Colts. Hear me out. Don't
wait. You're saying you like the Colts?
I'm not opposed to. I like them better than the Saints.
Well,
but so listen. Hear me out. Before you turn off our thing and I get fired here. Okay. Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Top end running back. He's getting drafted in the second round.
Okay.
So we expect good things from him. He has proven to be a top 3. He's got the kind of talent and size that if he at some point this year, next year was the RB1, it would not surprise me, because he has like 15 to 20 touchdown capability.
Okay.
With his talent. Michael Pittman, do we just going to act like he hasn't been a decent receiver lately? if you go to anybody else's like fantasy site, everybody is in love with Josh Downs for some reason. And Josh Downs really hasn't proved anything yet.
Right.
So, and again, everyone's telling you sleeper tight end, Tyler Warren.
Right.
So if Jonathan Taylor's going as a top 10 running back, everybody loves one of the receivers as a sleeper. Everybody loves their tight end as a sleeper. Their offense should be good then, I would imagine. So I'm like, okay, Daniel Jones is not great. I think Anthony Richardson ends up getting that job.
Okay.
And then if Anthony Richardson plays 10 games, I think he has played 15 games. He has 10 touchdowns in 15 games, 10 rushing touchdowns.
Sure.
That offense, I think Shane Steichen knows what he's doing offensively.
Okay.
If everything, like again, you've got to take chances in fantasy football. And outside of Taylor, you can get all these guys. Like it's not costing you any kind of draft capital to get these guys. Why not take a chance on like Michael Pittman as a wide receiver 4, Tyler Warren as your tight end 1, and you're getting him as probably the 12th, 13th tight end, maybe not that late, but 8, 9, 10 off the board. I'm not opposed to. I'm not saying draft all these guys. Like I'm not saying if I went to a draft and I had Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Brown.
Yeah,
I would be fine with that,
right?
Because I'm just getting all the Bengals offense.
Sure.
I'm not saying go get Daniel Jones, Michael Pittman, Tyler Warren, and Jonathan Taylor. That's not smart. Right. But getting pieces of this team could be beneficial.
The only way, first of all, Jonathan Taylor's going way too high. You got to spend way too much to get him. Yeah. You have to use either draft capital or money in auctions. He's going for too much for me. I will not draft Jonathan Taylor anywhere. And the only way I'm going to take a Colts receiver at the price they're at is if my league rewards points for targets and not catches, because I don't trust Daniel Jones, I don't trust Burt Jones. I don't trust Andrew Luck. I don't trust any of those guys throwing the ball to Colts receivers. I don't believe in either one of them. And so I can't get behind that. Now, granted, if they fall dramatically and it's getting near the end and some of the guys are still out there, I'll compare them to the people that are left on the board, but I am not going to actively seek out a single Colt. Who's their kicker?
The Schrader, rookie. He's actually looked pretty good. He's on my list, so don't be stay in your lane.
I will tell you right now, Rink, in the drafts we do, you've never taken a kicker. I went, oh God, that's the one I wanted. I've never done that because you take them way too early sometimes, and you take chances on kickers as well. This man took a kicker in a rookie draft, folks. We had a 2-round rookie draft, and this man took a kicker. Anyway, but yeah, you are known as the kicker fiend in our league.
Yes. So I'm telling you right now, okay, Colts win the division. All right.
There you go. You got it on record there. It is not a great division. As we're getting further along, I'm liking the Dolphins less and less. Achane got hurt, and always, he's getting a lot of hype too this year. But I'm not convinced about his health. I'm not convinced that Tua can stay upright. I'm not convinced on Tyreek's health or Tyreek's happiness to be there. I'm not convinced of any of that stuff. I think the Dolphins are in for a dog year. I really do. I think they're going to finish last in the AFC East.
Yeah. Dolphins are an interesting one because on paper, if they click like they did a few years ago,
right, they
could all be league winners for you. Like Achane's numbers with Tua with healthy, if he stays healthy and a healthy Hill and Watt, like
you almost said Hitler,
Hitler, I know it's Hill
with a healthy Hitler.
With a healthy,
it could really do some damage.
I was going to say, I don't know what I was going to say exactly. But I'm like you. I don't think it's going to work out because I don't think McDaniel is that great of a head coach. I think he's a good offensive mind if he just stays as a coordinator. But they're an interesting team because if by chance it all works out,
right,
those guys like Tua's not even really getting drafted, or he's getting drafted late. Achane's really the only one I think that's significant. Like draft capital, I think Hill and Waddle are probably I think Hill's going in he might be going in third, but maybe fourth. But I'm kind of staying away from those guys too, just because I don't think it's going to work out.
I'm calling up the CBS Sports ADPs. Tyreek Hill is going on average 37th overall.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what number wide receiver, but that's third round, obviously, on that one.
Yeah.
And I'm looking to see where Waddle's going.
Probably right around there a little bit.
Waddle's going 82.
Wow.
Yeah, Waddle's going very late there. As far as the running back situation,
Achane still at the back end.
He's at 9.
Return, yeah.
And then as far as the quarterback situation with Tua, I'm curious on this one because, I don't think he's
17, maybe.
Let me see. Tua is, see what round he's going in here, if I can even find him. Holy cow. Wait. Did I pass him already? I'd pass him. Look at Tua.
He's probably not going in 10-team leagues, so.
He's got to be on this list, though. Doesn't he? Let me look here. Yeah, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, Mayfield, Nix, Murray, Prescott, Goff, Purdy, Fields, Herbert, Williams, Love, Stroud, May, Stafford, Tua, right there. It's 153, so 15th round.
Wow. Yeah. I take a chance on Tua that late as a backup.
That'd be 16th round, right? Because 150 is the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, 16th round. Yeah, I guess I
like Waddle. Or I wouldn't mind taking chances as Waddle as my wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
I'd get behind that. Where you're going to get him? Yeah, I think that's a good spot for him. I think that as well. Yeah.
I think a couple of things. I'm not going to dive too much. I think some interesting teams that people are kind of maybe not really sleeping on, but Seattle's interesting because they have all the talent in the world. If Sam Darnold can have the magic that he did last year, Seattle could be a really good team offensively. Arizona's interesting because again, people like Marvin Harrison Jr. They like McBride.
Yeah,
it's all depending on Kyler Murray.
Yeah, it's all dependent on Kyler Murray, right? Yeah, and you're right. Marvin Harrison Jr. He had if you didn't know his name, didn't know the name, didn't know where he's drafted, just looked at his stats. That's a pretty good rookie year. Yeah, it's decent, not great, but pretty good. It wasn't Brian Thomas, wasn't Malik Neighbors, but it was a pretty good rookie year.
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to give up on Marvin Harrison Jr. yet. I still think he's an incredible talent. It's just, I think he'll have a much better year this year, but it's all going to be dependent on Kyler Murray. The running back situation in Arizona is better because I think that, Connor had a great year last year. You can rely, Benson's somebody on another guy you're looking at maybe getting later in drafts as kind of a lottery ticket type thing. And if not, especially if Connor, I would make sure handcuffing. I don't know. That's another episode talking about handcuffs and whatnot. But who's somebody else you had?
Atlanta's one I think is interesting too, because I think everyone loves Bijan and Drake London.
Yep.
But I think there's still with Darnell Mooney. Penix is just, he's interesting because he didn't really have a lot of hype really coming out of college, even though he got drafted like 8th or 9th, whatever he did.
Right.
I think he's like 26 years old already.
Well, yeah.
But he did show some flashes last year. I think the final 2 games, I think they went to overtime and put up like over 30 points in each game.
Right.
So it just, I don't know. I don't know if Atlanta, outside of Bijan and London, and of course Kyle Pitts, but Atlanta could be interesting because if Atlanta gets in that top 10 scoring offense, it's not going to all be Bijan, I don't think.
No, you're right. And the thing with Atlanta that I'm just, if you're taking Penix, I know we saw 3 games of him. We saw 3 games of him. And teams now, in those 3 games, you only had 3 teams prepared for him. You know what I mean? Like there's 3 teams, and really, I don't know how much they prepared for Michael Penix. They didn't know what they were getting the first game for sure. So teams now will be able to prepare for him fully, a full season, a 17-week schedule, 17-game schedule. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play out, and if they used a lot of draft capital on defense, which they needed to do.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see. I like Drake London. Obviously, I love Bijan Robinson, but I'm weary about Penix. And if Penix struggles and they throw Cousins back out there, the Cousins could have the same kind of rebound that Aaron Rodgers had at the end of last year. Aaron Rodgers tore the Achilles, and then he was bad the first 7 games this past season. The last 10, 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 66 or 67% completion percentage, and a quarterback rating over 97. Because around week 10, it was the last 10 games, so around week 7, 8, whatever it was, that I think gave him enough time from the injury to be fully recovered. And I thought we saw a much better Aaron Rodgers. Could be the same thing with Kirk Cousins. Cousins also had, his injury. He's got the time to recover. You might see a resurgence from Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, it's not bad to have Cousins as a backup if Penix fails as well. And they play in the dome. So that's just sometimes you got to look at those teams that are kind of flying under the radar that could surprise you in fantasy.
Yep. So our tips, as always, first of all, know your scoring system inside and out. Know if it's a 6-point passing touchdown. Know if it's a super flex league. There's a league that one league I drafted for the other day, Chad. They had they were so in depth that you got 0.2 points per carry. You got so like little things like that they had involved in there. They had a couple of weird rules. So I can't think off the top of my head, but I think it was a thing where if you after a certain amount of yards, you got like if you got a 150-yard game from a receiver, then you would get like an additional 5 points or something on top of the points they already accumulated. So things like that. Make sure you know the rule inside and out, and draft that way. Wait as late as you can to draft. Use FantasyDraftProxies.com. But and also keep tuning into our show. Like, listen, subscribe, all those things. Fantasy Ring Sports. He's at Chad Ochorinco on Twitter. I said I'm Twitter. I'm not Twitter. He is Chad Ochorinco at Chad Ochorinco on Twitter. I am at Fit Happens, THIT. Fit Happens. And download the Fantasy Ring Sports app. It's free for Apple and Android users. And folks, we'll talk to you soon.